Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us. This is the Quiet Minds podcast. My name is Travis.
And I am Marcel.
Today we're going to be talking about what brings us here. Why we decided to do what we're doing. Why we decided this podcast. Last episode, you guys were introduced to us essentially as a whole, but not as the beginning. So this is actually going to be the beginning, right? So once again, my story comes from a brain surgery that was a brain tumor, unfortunately, at one point in my life. Marcel's story is losing his daughter at the age of 17 to suicide. Mental health is a big portion of this podcast. This is what we are for. This is what we are doing. And we're just here to bring awareness, not for us, but for you as well. Before we kick this off, we left last week's episode this way. We left with a couple questions. So the first one up, and it's going to be one of those topics that Marcel's really looking forward to.
Oh, jeez.
Do you pray for yourself?
We already asked that question. I did
But
not.
we asked the question, but we didn't touch on it. We didn't fully touch on it.
Okay. We answered
Why?
it. It's okay.
We answered it, but we did not touch on why that question is so important.
That's what answering the question means to me. But anyways, I don't pray for myself, dude. And then here's the reason why. Okay. I believe that when you are praying, you pray for others, right? So you pray for others, you pray for the world around you, and you pray for the things that you want to achieve. That's just my belief system. So I don't necessarily pray for myself, and it's not like a scheduled thing like people do for dinner or after dinner or before bed or before they start their day. It's like a continuous conversation that I have with my higher power, dude. And so I just don't pray for myself because I think it's selfish. I think you're supposed to give those away to people that you care for, and I believe that what you give, you get back. So in essence, it's just faith, man. I give it away, bro. What about you? What about you, T?
So, for me, no, I don't. I don't pray. I don't pray for the simple fact of I don't have a faith to pray to. So, for me, I unfortunately lost my faith when about roughly 10 years ago, give or take. And when a lot of things started coming into play in my life that sent me down that little spiral where you and I met,
right?
I had lost my faith right then and there. So roughly about a couple months before you and I met, I had lost my faith.
Bro,
and
what if I'm your faith?
But listen, and it could, and here's the thing. I do believe the universe brought you into my life, and I believe the universe brought me into your life for a particular reason, and I'm not sure what that is yet, right? So we know our friendship has blossomed over 10 years, and we know a little bit about your story, we know a little bit about my story, and one of those things that when I lost my faith, I didn't realize I was losing my faith until I uttered the words.
I feel that.
And it's interesting to say when you're in a moment of distress and you're looking for something, somebody, or something to say, hey, it's going to be okay. You're good. I wasn't getting that. Right? I wasn't getting it. I wasn't getting it until I met you. Just understand.
Okay.
So when I said I don't have my faith anymore,
I understand completely.
I started looking for other sources. I started looking for something. So what ended up taking me, it ended up taking me on a spiritual journey. rather than a faith journey, a religious journey. It was more of a spiritual journey. And oddly enough, for me, this spiritual journey actually concluded in Alaska. Right? So it's really cool on
ass journey, dude.
it was a long ass journey.
That's a long
It
way
was
from here, bro.
It was 2 years. It was a 2 years in the making. It was a year and a half in the
I
making.
need to know more about this Kodiak Bear experience, but okay, continue. Continue.
So there are things that I was going through and my ups and downs. I was going through in and out of depression. I was flying back. I mean, you know this. I was flying back to Massachusetts. I was visiting
This was all after you found out about the brain tumor, and then
This was 2015.
okay, so you found out about it then.
So this is a different time, right? And this is my other health issue that had come in and really took me into that point of I'm doing everything right. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm eating the right foods. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to stay established. And it wasn't going the right way. And so in 2014 is when I was diagnosed with my health issue. And 2015 I went spiraling down into that depression. You and I met. I was in Boston when you and I first talked. I was actually in Boston. I just landed in Boston. I was at Boston Logan, and I was waiting for the bus to go to Cape. So I was waiting for my friends to pick me up to get over there because they lived on Cape. And so that's where that started, that whole I don't have my faith. And then things started kind of picking up a little bit, went back down in a rut, came back up, went back down, came back up, went back down. And then finally I ended up going up to Alaska with a family friend of mine. And there we were doing some hunting for some indigenous tribes, which is really cool. Circle Alaska, middle of February.
Hunt
right?
seals.
Hunting caribou.
Those things are fucking terrifying, dude. They're huge. If you think moose are big, those caribous are like moose on steroids.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Not to be played.
So I went on this journey, and while we were there, I got taken into one of the elder tents, and it's one of those things that I was like, this is not me, but you know, it's their culture. I'm embracing their culture because that's the right thing to do.
And I don't want to die, not in Alaska.
Yeah. And that's when I was blessed by one of the elders.
There you go.
I was blessed for a good hunt.
There you go.
And we went out. We were hunting. We were on the last 45 minutes of the hunt. And I'm like, I'm getting that right there. I'm getting that caribou right there. And Dave, family friend, goes, What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Because we don't see anything. I drew my bow because we were bow hunting. I drew the bow and I just let it fly. I just sent it.
Fucking Hail Mary. 4!
And exactly. And so we head down, I'm tracking it, and they start seeing blood. They're like, okay, you got something. At the end of that trail was a 2,200-pound caribou.
That's a big-ass dog.
It was the largest of the hunt. And from there, I was like, maybe there's something to this.
Like
Maybe there's something to the spiritual shit that, for me, I was like, maybe there's something to it, right? Right?
Hold on. I just sent a moonshot in Alaska, and no one else saw it. And all of a sudden, rainbows of yeah. You think?
Yeah.
Maybe
Exactly.
There's something to this, Alex.
Maybe there's something to the spirit, the spiritual guidance that I received, right? And tell you what, Circle Alaska, Northern Lights, fucking man.
That's
It is
what
one
I'm
of
trying
those.
to get to. I want to see the Northern Lights.
That is. I had not seen them prior to that night, and that's because I was just going to bed. I was going to bed, waking up, going to bed, waking up, and then I stayed up for a little while, and I'm like, all right, I'm really geared to see this, and no light pollution, no nothing. It's literally, it was me, the ground, the universe.
You were out there on some John Smith, Pocahontas type shit.
And that's when I gained
Jealous, man.
the right. That's when I gained my spirit. That's when I gained my spiritual awareness. So, for me, do I pray for myself? No, but do I wish well on others? 100%.
100%.
And that's because, let's be real. I would rather have somebody pray for me than say go to hell or whatever.
Here's the thing.
So
for
it's
me, like, I don't wish that on my enemies. You know what I mean? On my worst enemies, I don't wish the pain that I bear. I don't, because it's not cool, right? So instead of wasting my time here, wishing somebody else would, perish or they would meet peril, I just wish them well, man. It's the pain that you and I both struggle with, and that we've kind of got a hang of, in the whole left. I just want people to understand that that's avoidable.
Oh, 100%. Like I'll have people tell me if, people are having a bad day in retail, and they'll tell me to go F myself at the end of that, and I know it pisses them off, and I really don't care. Mm-hmm. I still tell them to have a great day.
Not me. I say Benameli Kiki Bobo. And if they're old enough to know who Joey Zuzu is, they're like, man, I hate you.
But for me, it's have a great day. Like, hopefully your day gets better.
Yeah, right? Why are you yelling at me? That's weird.
It is straight. Hope your day gets better, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be the one that's if they're in a car accident, hey, at least I told them I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'm not being an asshole towards them, right? So that's where it is for me.
Okay.
So that's the whole, I will wish well on others.
Sometimes, if you listen, I'm not that guy. If you deserve a bag of dog poop on your doorstep, trust me, I'm the dude that's gonna hope you get it.
100%. Here's the thing, 100%, because there are those people who are deserving of it. But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be the one that sits there and says, "Hope you have a great day."
That's why we're different. It's like ebony and ivory.
And it's like, and that's what's really interesting about people is you don't know who's really struggling, and then you start because they're quiet. It's because they're quiet.
Yep. Nobody wants to talk about it because nobody wants to be made fun of. Nobody wants to be thought of as a problem or broken or used, right? Because, let's get it out there. There's men in the world who are considered projects by women who struggle with emotional and mental health issues, right? And there's women that are, oh man, phone call, I don't know who it is. It's probably Probably baseball. Anyways,
It probably is baseball.
right. Oh, I want to grab it
There's a
so
reason
bad.
why.
But
There's a reason why, though.
Okay, so let me finish that thought before people come for me, right? There's men that are broken in the world, just like there are women in the world that are broken. And those people sometimes end up with people whose only motivation is to fix them, right? To help them feel better, to help them be a better person, right? Despite what they're going through, they don't really get into the meat of the issue.
Yeah.
What I mean is a broken brain can't fix a broken brain, you know?
Yeah.
So if you're having spirituality issues, I can't really help you if I'm not a spiritual person. I can tell you where I became spiritually connected and enlightened, and if you want to go there, cool. But I can't. It's weird, man. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that struggle with mental health because they're hurt. And I feel like there's a lot of people who try to help other people feel better, but they don't help them fix the problem. So
No, and that's
when
that's
the
where you
problem flares
and
back up, it's you're out of here. You know what I mean?
yeah, and that's where you and I will agree, because that's where it's, there's the people who will be there, they'll support you, but at the end of the day, they're not helping you try to find the solution,
Right.
right?
Right.
So it's one of those things. Like, for me, I have 3 people that I can count on that's either gonna say, I know it's dark,
Yep.
you will get through it.
Yep.
What do you need?
Yep.
You got my best friend Richie, got my friend Duncan.
Yep.
And me and Richie go by kindergarten.
That's like 60
Yeah,
years.
that's how deep our friendship is, right? So mine and his friendship expand over 20 years. And in the sense of when we were at the wedding, when we finally had the wedding in 2021, I was so pissed at him because he broke his sobriety, even though it was for 10 minutes. And I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you break your sobriety? The response I got, because my brother's happy and I'm going to celebrate his wedding day with him.
Okay.
And I'm like, you know what? I get it.
Right.
I get it. I'm not happy about it. But in that moment, it's like, brother, dude, I love you. You can celebrate this day sober. I don't give a shit.
Right.
But at the same time, it's the respect aspect that was. I respect not only myself enough to break my sobriety for 10 minutes, but I also respect you enough to tell you, hey, just to let you know, you and I are having a drink real quick, and that's it.
I mean, it's the acknowledgement of total responsibility on both parties, to do what they feel or what they see is right. A lot of people,
Yeah.
they come from substance abuse, right? Or
Yeah.
they have alcohol problems or dependency or problems, and their friends might be involved and be concerned, right? And sometimes, as the friend, not the person that has the issue, but sometimes as a friend, we kind of are like, what are you doing, bro? Don't do that. That's selfish, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's cool that you recognize your friend's ability to take accountability for his actions, which is a huge step in recovery, right? Because a lot of times
100%.
people will drink or they'll do drugs and they'll blame their usage on other people, right? So if your brother was comfortable enough to have a drink with you, then he had that much control in his life, right? Because
Oh
it's
yeah.
about progression, and that's a good thing, dude. You know?
Oh, 100%. And I know at the end of the day that he will sit there and say, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for good things. Because that's who he is. At the end of the day, I can sit there and send him a reel that's, there's these reels that you see where it's the ominous music in the background. It's either a guy on a bike or somebody swinging a hammer, and it's a, hey brother, I ain't doing too good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just know I'm thinking of you. Thank you for always being a true friend. Right? I'll send him one of those if I'm having a bad day.
Right.
And the text message I get back is, I don't know what you're going through, but I'm praying for you.
Right. That's what
So
you get back from him?
That's what I get back from him.
After you send him a message that, okay.
After it, and it's just a simple.
But is the message directed at you or directed at him? Is it a reflection of you and how you're feeling, or
So
is it your assumption?
so the reel that I send him is a depiction of how I'm feeling.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And the response that I get is his feelings of, I don't know what you're going through, but I am praying for you.
Okay.
And then a day or two later, he'll send me a text back going, hey, are you good? What do you need?
Okay.
And it's for me, if he was to send, and he's done it too, like he'll send me something like that too. And so I will sit there in return going, you good? I'm here.
Right, but what I think is missing is, like when you send him those stories or those reels, right? I don't do all of that as fancy as everybody else. I do sometimes, but it's just sometimes by accident.
Sometimes, not all the time, right?
I'm not savvy like the rest of the world, okay? I'm slow. I'm all thumbs. Anyways, like when you reach out to your buddy and you send him that reel, right? And it's got the melancholy music and the sullen message, and he reaches back to you and he's like, I don't know what the hell you're going through, bro, but I'm gonna pray for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, when you get that message, what is your reply to him, and how long does it take you to reply?
So my reply to him is, look, it's just not a good day for me. I'm struggling today.
Okay.
I am straight struggling.
Okay, so
Now,
that's awesome, right? But if that's all
Mm-hmm.
of the message is, I'm gonna tell you, people
So-
they're not gonna know how to respond to that.
Absolutely. So when I tell him I'm just not having a good day,
Right.
I'll get a phone call 10 minutes later
Right.
and be like, what's up? Talk to me. What's going
Okay.
on?
Okay.
So
Now, are you
it's
honest with him when he calls you?
Oh no, I'm solely honest with him.
Get mad at me. It's just a question.
I am true to the bone with him. There was a day that I don't remember what it was. I was having a struggling day, right?
Right.
And I sent him a message going, "Hey, look, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you're doing. I see you and your accomplishments. I am proud of you, brother."
Okay.
And the response that I got, what's wrong? Just a straight, what's wrong?
So that's normal, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's normal, though. And let me say this: and this is just guessing, right? Because I'm just guessing, bro. I'm like a moth on the wall. I'm just guessing, right? So you reached out to your buddy when you were having a bad day, and you said, "Hey, bro, I'm super proud of you, super stoked, da 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 da," right? And then his reply to you was like, "What's wrong?" Right?
Yeah.
And what did you tell him? That
I told him honest.
you're just having a shit day, right?
Well, no. So I can tell you why I was struggling that day for that particular day. Oh no, just listen.
T.
Just listen, watch, because it ties into it, right? Ties into it. So I was struggling because of work. 2, because I was feeling like a failure.
Okay.
And I was seeing his accomplishments from where he's been in his life.
Okay.
And I wasn't feeling good about myself.
Okay. That's 100% the truth. So when you shared those words with him, would it be fair to say that those were the words that you were lacking in your life from others and you were struggling to find in that moment about yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Booyah. So I just had this conversation with a bunch of my friends because a bunch of my friends think I'm an asshole because I mean, I need you guys. I need my friends as much as my friends need me, right?
100%.
And my trauma, when I went through my trauma, man, just like you, but when I went through my trauma, my whole life changed. And it had to for me to be able to be me, right? So I find that my friends, they don't talk the same way I do, right? So I have to remember, T, going through what I've gone through, there's a lot of my friends that haven't. And that puts me in a unique place because I'm the first to ever do it, although it sucks. Second, I get a chance to help my friends understand how to understand me better, right?
100%.
And like, so because I've texted you, "What's up, dude? I'm in a hole."
Yeah.
And you'll ask me what I need. And I'll tell you flat out, I need more people to interact with me in my life on a regular basis. I don't need your money. I don't need your cuddles. I need you to tell me that I'm still here because the world is so crazy and it makes me feel like I'm disappearing every day.
100%.
You know?
And and to touch on that, there's a lot of people that feel that way.
Bro, I was just going to say, if you are listening to this podcast and that is you and you slapped your steering wheel, your pillow,
you
or
belong
your thigh
here
real hard, I'm not responsible for any damage that little light, that little beam of light caused you to have in your life. Right?
But here's the thing. So if it's something that actually reflected in you, right? And you're hitting that steering wheel, you're like, fuck. This is the right place. Right? This is it. This is where the rubber meets the road, baby. You know? This is where we talk about real things, and we talk about real things from real people's perspectives, and those perspectives are based on personal experience, going through professional lifestyles, marital lifestyles, platonic lifestyles, and all of the aspects of just being people. Without all the fancy flashy lights and Gatorade sponsorships, we're just two dudes, right? Two dudes on a friendly budget. That's it.
We're just the quiet minds, man. That's all. That's all we are.
Oh, 100%. And it's one of those things that you look at where we are, right, compared to where we were, say, 20 years ago, right?
Right.
You know, for me, 20 years ago, coming out of high school. Coming out of high school.
Shit. Mine was like, whoa, 30 years. Good God, I'm beautiful. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
Which, by the way, happy belated birthday.
50 years old, that's what you're looking at right now. Like it or love it. Doesn't really matter.
Right? But it's funny. It's, you hear the stories that people talk about, and they're like, oh, how do I get the knowledge? You know what? The knowledge is up in the gray, though.
I think that knowledge is gained through experience, right? Follow
Mm-hmm.
me, right? You got to read, right? Reading is an experience because what you're reading has intrigued you enough to capture your attention, right? So you're learning, that's growing, and you're always getting better, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and the more you learn, the more beautiful you become, right? So if it, I don't know where I was going with that.
You were going somewhere.
Yeah, no, man. Like, if we don't share the information we have, no one else will know. The information that I have isn't to make myself better than anybody else. It's really like, kind of like walking through a forest. Not like Goldilocks or Red Riding Hood, but just like walking through a forest and saying to the dude that you walk up on, hey, there's bear poop back there. Be careful, right? I just like being able to walk through the forest. I can't hear you. What are you doing? Oh, man.
No, I'm just fixing something. I gotta
We're going
fix this
to edit
mouse.
the hell out of this episode.
Not really.
Oh,
Oh, we're gonna keep a lot of this, so don't worry about that.
oh, great.
We're gonna keep a lot of that. But if we look at it, right, we're looking at the concept between our eyes, and we have an episode that's going to be coming up that, for me, it's going to be interesting because we're going to be collaborating with a couple people. Two of them are going to be streamers. One is not. I'm going to be on their podcast, on this person's podcast, Sam. Her name is Sam. She's got a wonderful podcast, actually, and we're going to drop it when we do the collaboration. And one thing that I found out was the statistics in the veterinary field and the suicide rate is something that's interested me.
Why is it interesting to you? Why is
It's
it
interesting. One, it's
Is it
interesting to me.
veterinarians?
Yeah. And I didn't realize what the actual statistical number was. Because to me it was like, I'm like, that's like one of the best career fields that you could possibly be in.
Are you
But
kidding me?
now that
Do you know how
but-
hard it is to
but
be
listen,
a vet?
yes, I do know how hard it is to be a vet. But it's
Emotionally?
that's where I was naive, right? So let's look at it, right?
I don't really even want to know. I know that it's staggering, but I really want to know who called me, and I really feel bad about missing that call.
So this is interesting, right? What I'm seeing in a 2019 study showed male veterinarians were 2.1 times more likely, and female veterinarians were 3.5 times more likely to die by suicide compared to the general U.S. population. How crazy is that? You're muted. You're muted.
That's insane.
No, it is insane.
It's crazy. Oh,
But I understand why. Like now, I looking at it, I understand why. And it's one of those things that, I mean, come on, you deal with sick animals. You have to put an animal down, especially if it's an animal that you've been seeing for years upon years upon years. That's almost like a doctor, a regular doctor, a doctor for us. That's like, hey, time to go. And there's more. I mean, there's more advanced. There are more advances in the mental health aspect for actual doctors than I'm sure there are for the veterinary practices, right? And it's one thing that if you're really looking at it as a whole picture, you're not realizing that statistic is actually pretty high versus what the general U.S. population is, and it's all because it's a gray area for everybody. It's a gray area. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about it enough, and not just in males. Like males, we do talk about it, but we don't talk about it.
Well, here's the thing, and that's what we're really gonna do. If we're gonna bring up the aspect of mental health, we're not just gonna go round and round in circles about mental
Yeah.
health. We're gonna present a problem and we're gonna actively pursue a solution, right? Because I think that any industry that suffers mental health losses or suicidal deaths, I think that's what they need, right? And there's a plethora of people on the internet that have opinions or hypotheses or formulas or ideas. Those are great. They're like eyeballs, right? But application is what changes it. So I'm stoked to hear about the veterinary world, but I think that a lot of folks want to have that solution. So I want to push the envelope and find out what we need to do to bring the relief to every industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because I think, listen, bro, an 8-year-old can pull up statistics on Carl Yastrzemski, and they can't even fucking spell Yastrzemski. So I think the point is everybody knows.
Nice name drop, by the way.
You like that, huh? Boom. Go Yaz, baby. Everybody knows the problem. I think everybody's afraid to apply their solution. I'm not afraid to apply that solution in a non-invasive and non-combative way. And I think that
Yeah.
we could make a world of difference if we got past that one aspect of human interaction, right?
And that's where we need to look. Then that's where we need to that's where we need to focus.
That's where I'm at, baby. The event that we have coming up on the 24th in Orange County, actually Rancho Cucamonga to be
That's not Orange County. That's
I don't live there, so whatever.
that's Rancho Cucamonga.
The Inland Empire, wherever it's close to, neighbors, Tecate, I don't care. That's what we're doing. We're bringing mental health recovery and relief to the Rancho Cucamonga Quake Stadium on Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. We're doing a suicide prevention walk. Tickets are $20, and you can get them on the website, on the Quake's website.
Well, by the time this airs, they can't do the walk.
Well, you know what? Who cares? You missed out then, sucker.
But
No, but
it's also the first. But if we look at it, right, it's also the first one.
It's the best. Everybody wants
Right.
to be first. Like Ricky Bobby's dad said,
If
not
you ain't first, you're last.
So,
But it's that stepping stone that you need.
really got to call this dude back. Ugh. I have
Hold on, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap this up real quick. Give us one moment. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to wrap it up with this. We're going to talk a little bit about episode 3. Right now, Marcel had to take a phone call. We will see him hopefully next week. If not, we'll see him week 4. week 4, episode 4. It's the same thing, right? So next week's episode is going to be a little bit interesting, for me at least. So we're going to be bringing in a special guest named Gwendy. She is a military veteran. We're going to be talking about what she does for work, how she helps our veterans, how she copes, along with some stories. You know, we're going to bring out a little bit more of the story aspect into the podcast, so that way we can start getting into this rhythm of everybody belongs. Everybody needs to be heard. Doesn't matter who you are. It could be your kids. It could be you. It could be your parents. It could be your significant other. Doesn't matter. We're looking to bring anybody who feels that they can't talk into the light, into the realm that the stigma is no longer a stigma. We're looking to get it done and over with, right? We want to hear the world and their battle with mental health, whether it be for our veterans, PTSD, depression, anxiety, anything. Does not matter what it is. We are here and we're here to listen. We're here to hear your story, because sometimes talking about your story is the best coping mechanism that you can go and find. Again, welcome everybody to the Quiet Minds podcast. My name is Travis. We'll see Marcel once again. He'll be coming back into the studio. We'll get him back in here. Hopefully next week. If not, he'll be here for episode 4. 2 special guests lined up. Again, I cannot wait for everybody to hear these stories. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. And again, welcome to the Quiet Minds podcast.